Hello friends, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Elise, and this is my mystical bookshelf. And today I have a unicorn themed book because Webkinz does this thing where they celebrate odd holidays. I don't know if anybody plays Webkinz, but that's kind of like my bag too. I like Webkinz a lot. And they do this odd holiday thing, and I think like my computer showed it to me too. I just thought it would be fun. But it was National Unicorn Day on like April 9th, I think. And I recently went to Thrift Smart with my husband, and I found some unicorn themed books. So I decided to do a video on one of them. And today it is The Fairy Unicorn by Zana, or Zana. I'm not sure how you say her name, but Zana Davidson. And this was such a cute book. I read it last night, actually. It was a very quick and light read, which is something that I have been looking for, because I feel like for the past couple of weeks I've been in sort of a reading slump, and I also saw, because we went thrifting, my husband and I, we went thrifting on Friday and Saturday, and I saw like a bunch of Sarah Dessen books, and I feel like that was a sign that I should start getting my butt in gear and like reading them. So I am going to be like really hardcore with myself, and I'm going to either not do Lock and Key right now, because that one's not in. It's interesting. I read it before and I know that I like it, but I guess maybe it's intimidating to me right now because it's such a long book. And there are some shorter Sarah Dessen books that I think would be good. They're more summer related, but that's besides the point. And I'm also got some other books in the queue. I also picked up this unicorn book that's like 3 books in one, so that's always fun. So I've got some fun things planned, but I think seeing all the Sarah Dessen books at Goodwill, it was like, okay, this is a sign. I need to start doing that again, because I think everybody really liked those. I know I got some comments on them, which was cool. And hopefully I'll get more comments in the future. But yeah, so let's get into it. This book it looks like book 1. And it looks like it's a series called Fairy Unicorns. And it looks like it's a subset of like the Magic Forest. And this book is sort of a graphic novel, but it's sort of like a muted one color type of thing. So like on the cover, it looks really pretty and vibrant. And it's still pretty and vibrant, but it mainly is purple with like low saturation. So like this is the type of artwork we're dealing with. And I really like books like this. Like, this reminds me of the Dork Diaries book series by Renee Russell. Yes, Renee Russell. I should also do a ranking video of those, because I do really like the Dork Diaries as well. And that is sort of how this art style reminds me. It's more detailed than the Dork Diaries, but still, it's really cute. And I like how every one of the unicorns has like a name, and they all look very distinct. Like the Unicorn King, he's so majestic. I love him. He's really cute. And then the main one we're following in this book is right there. Her name's Astra, and that means star, which, I mean, I feel like a lot of people probably know that, but that's how she describes it. She's named after the star pattern on her. It's almost like she's got a cutie mark, like My Little Pony. And then we also have Zoe. She's the main protagonist in this book. And there's also a slight feature of her cousin named Holly. But I think Holly is in a different subset of book series because this subset features fairy unicorns, but it's also revealed in this book that there's another series called Fairy Ponies, and I'm almost positive that's Zoe's cousin Holly, because Holly, in the beginning of the book, well, before I get too much into it, I also want to show this map because I really enjoy books that have maps, and I just want to do it before I lose my train of thought any further. But look how cute this map is. I love it. It's so sweet. It's so purpley and pretty. And there's all these different places that the reader follows Zoe and Astra. And there's the castle. And there's the Lyra tree. It's just really cute. I just really love illustrations a lot. And it kind of goes along with my theme, like loosely. Like I've been kind of doing spring related books. And this one, it feels so springy, and it goes with the unicorn theme, and my mystical bookshelf icon is a little unicorn, and fun fact, that unicorn, I named her Azalea, because that's what I always name my unicorns, and that's kind of the name my husband and I have picked out for our first child, if it happens to be a daughter. So yeah, that's a little fun fact about the little icon and why I chose that, because unicorns are my favorite mythical creature, besides like mermaids, and yeah, mermaids are pretty up there too. So I'm really big into mermaids and unicorns. But anyway, so yeah, this book starts off with Zoe in the beginning, and she's staying with her Aunt May. There's kind of not a lot of like backstory with her aunt and her cousin. It sort of just like slips it in the beginning, like she stayed there all summer and then this is like the last night, and it's kind of a fast-paced book, I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of it, it's not a whole lot of backstory or world building necessarily, but I will say I think this is for a younger generation of readers. So like obviously not a 28-year-old woman, but nonetheless, I love reading children's books. They bring me so much joy, and there's no age limit to the enjoyment that you can get out of a children's book, because some of them are very deep and complex. Like, I know the Book Wanderers, I'm reading that. I have read that. I mean, I haven't finished the book yet. I have a lot of books that I just start and then I don't finish them, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I am, I don't want to say ADHD, but that's kind of how it feels. Like my attention span is just like, sometimes it's there for reading and sometimes it's not. But so I started Book Wanderers last year. That's another kids book series that I enjoy and I should do a review on. But that's kind of like the higher end of the more complex kids books that I like. But this seems like it's on the lighter end of a kids book. Like you could give this to, oh, I don't know what age. I don't want to stereotype or like say that some kid, I mean, reading is a spectrum obviously, and some kids are really good at reading at a young age and some kids really aren't. But I think for like an average child, if you gave this to a 7-year-old, I think they could tear through it easily. But that's like, I mean, it's an easy read, but it's also like, and it feels in between complex and easy to read. But I think if you gave it to between a 7 and a 10-year-old, I think that would be the right age to give this book to, and I think they would be fine. But I think if you gave it to a kid that's like 12, I think they might think it's kind of childish, but it all depends on the taste. But that's kind of what I got from it. It's very simple. The theme is really good. Like, I liked the theme of family that they brought in, and I wish we got more of Zoe with her cousin, because we kind of see her cousin, because she's about to go to sleep in the beginning, and she hears her cousin waking up and going downstairs, and she's like, what's going on? So then she like creeps down the stairs and she follows her cousin outside, and her cousin has this like, this is Holly, she has this little pouch thing, and Zoe's like, well, what's that? And we learn that it's like something like fairy dust that can turn you into like a really small person. That's what I got out of it. And so that's how it starts off. It just really goes right into the story very suddenly. And I think it's just a thing for kids to help them like get really quickly immersed in the story so they don't lose interest right away, which makes sense. That's kind of what this feels like. So then we get to the part where Zoe is inside of this oak tree and she is wondering what's happening. She sees like these pathways, and I think her cousin chooses the fairy pony pathway, which is another subset of the series, and she chooses the unicorn fairy pathway. And that's where the story truly begins, is when Zoe goes into this portal of sorts and she meets these unicorns. And it's a very simple like bedtime story. That's how it felt for me. Like if you gave it to someone, like a child, to read like 2 hours before bedtime, I think they could finish it and that would be their story for the night. If you're the type of parent who they don't want you to read to them, they want to read something themselves. That's kind of the book that I think this is, because I read it before bedtime, but I read it in like 30 minutes, but I read pretty fast, so that's just my reading speed. But so yeah, we meet the unicorns, and there's something dire going on right away, which I thought was also kind of funny. Like the trees are like dying. That's the main conflict in the story, and there's no backstory as to why that happened. So that's why I don't know if this is really book one or if it's like another book in the series, because it's not really numbered. It just says Magic Forest, and it really just says fairy unicorns. It doesn't really say anything else, and it doesn't really say anything in like the beginning saying this is this story or this goes with this series. It's just sort of, I feel like it's meant to be a standalone, but you probably could consider it a series, I guess. But it's neither here nor there. So we meet Astra in the beginning, and that's Astra right there, and Zoe is trying to calm her down because I guess humans don't really visit Unicorn Land very often, which makes sense. I feel like humans don't normally believe in unicorns, but some people do. And so they meet, and Astra and her become fast friends. And I really like Astra. Her character is very cute. She's very mild-mannered and meek. And she's got this, like, quiet strength. And we learn that she doesn't do magic. I guess all unicorns do magic, but she hasn't gotten her powers yet. And I would assume that Astra is kind of like a kid unicorn because Zoe is a child. And there are other unicorns that seem more adult, like her mom. Astra's mom is in this book. Her name is Sorrel, and Sorrel is the guardian of the trees. So that's like, as soon as Astra meets Zoe, Zoe learns that the trees are dying, and that happens very fast. And so it's basically like Zoe is thrust into this world to immediately resolve a conflict. And that's what felt kind of jarring to me, because there was no build up to the conflict, but I think it was done on purpose because, like I said, this feels like a bedtime story that you could give to your little one, or little child, and they could read it 2 hours or 1 hour before bed. And I think it's meant to feel rushed, but not overly rushed, but it did feel rushed to me. But I really like the illustrations. That was the main point of the book for me. And so we follow Zoe and Astra, and they have to find this flower to save the Unicorn King, because apparently there's this evil fairy pony named Shadow who cast a spell on the trees to make them like go like die and stuff, and then he trapped the Unicorn King. And he also stole the Grimoire, which is their magical book that the unicorns have where they put all their spells. And so I think that Shadow might be a recurring character in this book series, but that's why I'm not sure if this is really book 1 or if it's like maybe book 2 or 3 in the Unicorn Fairies. Or maybe it would make more sense if you read Fairy Ponies first and then you read Unicorn Fairies. I'm not really sure. But so we meet that, or we understand that conflict, and we have like a really short time frame to resolve the conflict, which also felt kind of rushed. Like the time in Unicorn Land, I guess the way the king explains it, it goes by really fast compared to human time. So like Zoe kind of spends like a whole day or two in this world, even though it's only been like one day. Technically, or not even one day, it's only been a couple of hours for her, because when she goes back it's still nighttime and she can go to bed and like carry on with her day. So I think it's sort of like fast-paced magical realism. That's what's going on. So Astra and Zoe are pretty much tasked with saving the Unicorn King because he's trapped in this little willow tree type of thing from Shadow. And the big climax in the book is Zoe and Astra saving the day by going to find the Lyra flower. And the Lyra flower is like really dangerous to get. Like you can't, a normal person in Unicorn couldn't normally do it. But Zoe and Astra are obviously extraordinary and they can make it work. And even though they both don't have magic, they both end up being able to capture this flower right here, the Lyra tree flower. And so it all ends up very fine and dandy. So they grab the flower, and what makes it so hard to grab is that there's these waves that kind of crest over the flower all the time. So they have to wait for the perfect moment to get it. And I really feel like the main takeaway from this book is that everyone has certain gifts and talents that they are blessed with, and even if you don't have certain talents that make things easier for you, you are still extraordinary. And I really liked that message in the book. So we end up at the end with the Unicorn King saved, and all the trees become life-giving again because with the Lyra flower, he makes the potion to cure the trees. And so they end up at the end celebrating like everything, and Zoe is kind of hailed a hero in the Unicorn Fairy world, and all the creatures come to greet her and stuff, and all the unicorns are very thankful for her. And it's just really cute. It was a really cute, fun read. It was very fun to read before bedtime. It was so sweet. Like, I liked how Astra and Zoe had like this really great connection right from the beginning, and I really enjoyed the character of the king. I think he seems like a really great and just ruler, and I'm also a huge fan of Sorrel. I really enjoyed Sorrel, even though we don't see much of her, but you can tell that with the scenes that we do have of her and Astra, they have a great mother-daughter relationship, and I really enjoyed seeing that. There's some really cute illustrations of Sorrel and Astra, and it just made my heart feel very warm. And I really enjoyed like how Zoe was just so open to everything too. Like, I'm not sure how old Zoe is. She looks like she could be 11 maybe, or maybe 10, but I just loved how open she was to everything in the unicorn world. And it was really cute how she just felt this immense connection with Astra right from the get-go. Like, that was very sweet. And I'm trying to find a picture of Sorrel and Astra so I can show you, because I really like the way that they're drawn together. And, well, here is Sorrel and Astra, but that's not like, they're not hugging each other. There's one picture where I think they were hugging each other. but it could be towards the end. And it just was nice that Astra was so supportive, or not Astra, but Sora was so supportive of Astra and Zoe. And she was really proud of them for being able to find the Lyra flower on their own. And that was kind of sweet too. It's like, this feels like a story about bravery too, because Zoe felt she was really scared, and Astra felt scared too, but they both pushed past their fear and ended up saving the day. And I really thought that was sweet. And this is like another ending picture of all three of them. There's the king and Astra and Sorrel. I thought that was just really cute. And it's very sweet watching them interact with each other. And I liked Astra and Zoe's relationship. It's just so cute. I would totally pick up more books in this series, but I'd have to see if I can find it, because this was kind of just a one-off at Thrift Smart. And I was just like, I should just buy this because it's only $1.99, and I love unicorns, and I love fairy unicorns, so might as well just pick it up and give it a shot. But yeah, so it was just a really cute book, very light and fluffy. It's not adult based, obviously, but if you're the type of person who enjoys light-hearted children's books, I really think this is for you. Or like if you enjoy unicorns especially, this is also for you. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just weird. I really enjoy children's books. And it's just something that's always brought me joy. I read it for not only because I really do enjoy them, I just like the nostalgia aspect of it too. Because Fairy Unicorns is definitely a book that I would have picked up when I was a kid. And I'm glad that I had a chance to read it now. So I'm glad I had a chance to review it too for you. It's definitely a 5-star. And yeah, those are all my thoughts on it. But I hope you enjoyed the video, because I always enjoy making them. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, friends!